Hi, this is Zak Mir with the US Chartbreakers here at Zak's Traders Cafe for Sunday, the 2nd of March. Starting off with the S&P, which has effectively bounced off the floor of that rising trend channel from July last year. The line in the middle there around the 5,900 level, but basically it has been a gap fill rebound. The high on the 14th of January, 58.71, so we basically bounced off that, and we're back in the channel there and above 5,900, looking for not only the 50-day moving average there at 6,000 rather, but also another attempt on the highs through 6,100, perhaps by the end of next month. Early and end of day close back below the gap there from January, 58.70, really delaying the upside. Moving along to the stocks, and starting off with Arlo Technologies here, we've had gap through resistance, which is always nice, $13.50 the nominal area, and above that looking at the top of the range and the top of the channel there from late 2023 as high as $19, looking for that by the end of next month. Moving along to a stock which we have looked at before when we look at the US stocks, and that's Enveric Biosciences. Obviously been a bit of a tough ride in the recent past, but the charting setup probably as good as it could be, in the sense that we've got our favorite setup, which is actually a bear trap high reversal, so gapping down to new lows and then gapping up again, and we've actually done that not once but twice in the recent past, so gapping off the lows and then gapping up again on Friday. And the view is that while we're above the high of Thursday around $2.30, looking for at least the top of that falling trend channel, $4.40 by the end of the month. A name that is new to us today is Exicure, and here it's an interesting setup in the sense that we've had bounces above the top of that gap there at $6, call it $6.60. Above that on end of day close, looking for the 50-day moving average at $12, and obviously there's a line of resistance to break there from December through $10, but at this stage the 50-day line and post-February resistance near to the $12 mark is what we are looking for, while we stay above $7.50, recent support on an end-of-day close basis. Moving along to Gorilla, which is a favorite, not only because of the Epic code, but just the trend that we have at the moment. Gap close buy signal on Thursday, so that was closing the gap there up to $24.50. Above that, looking for the top of the rising trend channel as high as $39 by the end of this month, or even sooner. In fact, we could be looking at a steeper trajectory than this rising trend channel, but at the moment looking for just the area towards $40. This stage only back below that gap, really delaying the upside. And next on the list is Interactive Strength, and here you can see that, well, if you're looking closely, you can see that we have a potential turnaround situation. This is within a broadening triangle, which has been in place since November. Top of the triangle there, heading for $5.50, and that's valid while we hold above the 50-day line there, $2.26 on an end-of-day close basis. The other point to note is that bear trap gap reversal, so gapping up off the lows and breaking that 50-day line, which is pretty strong in terms of things to do. NeoVolta is next, and here we've got the shares bouncing off the floor of a broadening triangle at the recent resistance around $3.80. End of day close above that, we're actually looking for $5 plus at the top of the triangle by the end of next month. Could be a bit quicker than that. Initial target here, an initial resistance, which could be a sticking point around $4 at the 50-day moving average. Next contender is one that has, it's basically got our favorite setup again, actually. Gap, bear trap high and reversal, so gapping down to new lows and gapping up. The view at this stage is at least while we're above the top of the gap there, around $7.70. Looking for the shares to hit the 50-day line at $11.55, ideally up to the top of that falling trend channel from November through $13. Time frame on the $13, perhaps by the end of next month. Next up, we're looking at Orogenesis, and here, massive gap through resistance, in this case around $4.60. Above that, we're looking for a resistance line projection to be hit from late September, and looking at that, we hit around the $8.20 level well before the end of this month. Probably at this stage, it dips down to 5 pence, regarded as a long opportunity. Next up is a stock which is looking pretty decent in terms of being a rising trend channel base. Top of the channel there, $5.60. Had a gap fill rebound this week at around $1.40 and above $1.40. Looking for that pushed through $5 by the end of this month. On to the last two. First one is Resolute, and here, rather strange chart, but the idea here is that we gapped up through resistance on Friday, and that is the resistance, initial resistance earlier last month on the 20th of February, around 43.30, above 43.30, looking for a partial or even full retest of that spike high day from the beginning of last week. But the key here, staying above the high of the 20th of February. Finishing off with TPC, otherwise known as Tutor Perini, and here it's bear trap gap reversal from below the initial 2025 support there, $23.12, and end of day closes above recent resistance from January, $28.20. It take us up to $34 by the end of this month or even sooner. That's it for me today. More updates during the week.